Many believers worship God's words rather than grasping his attitude for saying them. When God tells us things, when God gives us words, they mean something. People don't think about God having an attitude and that it's his attitude that causes him to speak. So when he speaks, you want to know his attitude, because knowing the attitude of what behind what somebody's saying affects what it means, right?
Absolutely.
But people are just interested in the words, memorizing the words. God wants us to know him, and he wants us to know his attitude about everything.
Yeah.
And I look at these words and I say, what do you think, Father? What I ask God all the time. I know what the translators say you said.
Yeah.
I don't know that sounds like the Father that I'm getting to know. So
Yeah.
what did you mean when you, first of all, what did you really say?
Yeah.
And so oftentimes when I say, what did you really say? He'll tell me, and it's like, whoa, what you really said, that definition is, at the bottom of the lexicon in
Yeah.
small print, and nobody ever uses that definition, but at
Right.
least some scholars admit it could mean that. And you're saying that's what you meant, that's your attitude. And then he'll tell me his attitude, and it's
Yeah.
like his attitude is so wonderful all the time.
Yeah.
God has got the most wonderful attitude. It's just a delightful, joyous attitude. It never changes. It never
Yeah.
changes. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He's not this angry, vile God that so many Christians preach. It's
Yeah.
sad,
Yeah.
because if that's who they know. That's not somebody I want to get to know. And you know,
Right. Or invite people to church to get to know, or that scene from The Martian where Matt Damon's character sends the transmission back to NASA after he hears their plan to rescue him. And he says, and those words on the screen, one of the directors at NASA says,
You think he means it like, are you kidding me? You know? Or like, are you kidding me?
I think it might be the second one.
Really?
Uh-huh.
and the attitude behind those words is two totally different things. And we very much take God's words with low expectations, with our
yep,
eyes not up opened, and our eyes either closed or looking down or whatever. um we hear, are you effing kidding me? And we don't hear, are you kidding me? That's great.
Could be the first way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it could be the first one.
And people being so tied into what his words say, not what they mean. And then you're relying on yourself to interpret it. It doesn't matter what he means. It matters what I think he means.
exactly. Yes. If what you think he means isn't what he means, what good was what he said?
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you don't think God wants you to know, and many people don't believe God wants us to really know, we're
Right.
supposed to figure it out.
Yes.
And so we don't really know what God thinks, and so what are we going to base it on? Well,
Right.
my life experience, what I've learned, what I've been taught. I
Yeah.
think about that occasionally, how
Me.
so much that I've been taught, I,
Mm.
I keep discovering things that I've been taught, and I realize, man, I believe this, but it doesn't make any sense. I'm believing this when it if I had a good expectation, I would believe this, but I'm believing this negative thing, and my expectations are so formed by things I've learned that I don't realize I've learned.
Yeah.
But most of us, I mean, I know people that once they've learned something, it doesn't matter. They are never going to change their mind about it. They have stated what they believe, and it's like their ego is tied up in it, so they
Yeah.
can't ever admit then maybe there's a different way to look at it. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people like that.
Yeah.
And
I think we've all been victims to it. I wrote down, we say things we don't mean.
yeah,
And we get that, and then we think God probably does that too.
yeah,
Right? Like if you tell somebody, I want to hang out. We haven't seen each other enough in the last few years, and we really need to get together. And then you don't, and people don't, and you go, well, that's just what people say, you know. But God doesn't do that. He doesn't say stuff he doesn't mean.
that's right.
But that's another piece of it, is we think, well, I do, you know, I don't really want to hang out with that guy, but I want to be nice, and I want to tell him that I want to hang out with him, you know. But and I may even kind of want to. I may even be like, yeah, I would like to hang out with that person, but I don't follow through. Sometimes, a lot of the time, you know, and we do. I think we think that that's somehow what God is doing, but again, that's us taking us and making it Him.
Yeah.
That's us making Him in our image. I don't always follow up to my words, so He must not either.